Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to this One Sports TV Euro Tour qualifier. This is the first final that we have lined up for you today. In this final, we've got Arnel BAUTISTA and Harry Vergara ready to try to qualify for the Euro Tour in Austria later in June. And with me today, it's a pleasure to have Luis Arias with me. Hello, Luis. How are you?
How are you, Steve? Very happy to be here. Long time no talk.
No, long time no talk, longer no see. Ready for this match and really excited. We've got a lineup here this afternoon of two Philippine players in this final, and we've got two other Philippine players in the next final at 6 o'clock this afternoon. So Philippine players have done really well this time, and yeah, it looks good. We've had some good play and we're ready to go. So players, Arnel, Harry, you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, good luck to you both, good games, and have fun. Arnel's first. Okay, so Arnel can start.
Arnel.
Yes, you can start, buddy.
So yeah, Luis, good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
I'm very happy because I'm able to be here with you commentating this final, and also I've been watching the World Cup of Pool. So this is Mother's Day here in Venezuela, and I think in a lot of countries, and with a lot of action.
Yeah, a lot of pool action going on everywhere. We've got the Euro Tour qualifier that we're commentating on now. As you say, the World Cup of Pool has started. And in Spain, we've also got the ranking system competition, which is the Copa Espana. So yeah, there's pool everywhere you look this weekend. Is great.
Yeah, it's really amazing. We want to send a shout out to Alberto Delgado and Jonas Soto, both
That's
great
right.
players from Spain. I think they are in quarterfinals already.
Yeah, it was quarterfinals ready to go. I think they just had a quick stop for lunch, waiting for the last 16 match to finish, and they'll start at the same time. But there was quite a good lineup there. There was Pelayo Coeli, who's one of the youngest competitors in this Copa Espana. He came through after beating Juan Antonio Pina and Juan Exposito, and he's in the quarterfinals as well. So that was a bit of a surprise, but he was playing well. So that's interesting. Yeah, and we've got Jonas and Jose Alberto. So yeah.
And how old is that kid that you were talking about?
I think he must be about 16, 17, maybe at the most at the moment. Yeah.
Very young.
Yeah. And he was he used to play quite a lot when he was younger, like 12, 13. And then he suddenly you didn't see him as much on the tables, on the national competitions. But it seems like he's been off practicing quite a lot. There was a couple of comments on social media from him saying the work on the practice table has paid off. I'm back and enjoying pool again. So yeah, so maybe he took some time off, but he's been practicing. He hasn't been competing as much, but now he's back. And I watched a bit of his game against Juan Antonio Pina, and he was playing pretty good. So yeah, I'm pleased to see younger generations coming through, and that's what we need.
And you also have a kid, a very young kid. I've seen him on social media, a kid from Spain. I don't know if he's 7 or 8 years old. I don't remember the name, but you have a lot of talent over there.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of talent. I don't know if you're talking about my son, Hugo Boyle. He's 6, and he's on social media quite a lot.
Is that your son?
That's my son, yeah.
That's so funny. I'm talking like, yeah, there's like a prodigy of pool in Spain. That kid is amazing. I follow him.
That's my son, yeah.
Okay, so see, now you know that I'm a true fan. I'm not saying your son because I didn't know. So.
That's right. Yeah, that's great. That's it's even more interesting when people don't actually know who he is, but they really follow him because of his talent.
Well, he's very famous in Venezuela. I can tell you, he's
really. Oh, it's
very,
great to hear.
very famous.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
He's going to be 7 on the 17th of June.
10 points here.
Yeah, 10 points for Arnel. Very good. Yeah, he's going to be 7 on the. Okay, Harry, off you go.
How you were saying?
Yeah, he's going to be 7 on the 17th of June, and he's been knocking in balls for a couple of years now, pretty constantly.
Yeah, I've seen his videos. Actually, I was training with the national team's trainer, and he told me, "Look at this kid from Spain. He's like 6. Look at the video." I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" Then Francisco talked to me about him, Alcaide, then another player from our national team. And I was like, who's this kid? And he's your son. So funny. Very famous here. I mean, those videos in social media, I think I've seen them in all of our WhatsApp groups, from the federation groups, pool halls, actually from our young team, sub 19. We've sent those videos to inspire them. Like, look, this kid can beat you, and he's like 6 or 7. So we try to use it as inspiration for our young generation. So yes, he's very famous here. That's why I said it. I didn't know he was your son.
Right, but it's funny you say that, because it's difficult to not get carried away. Obviously, I'm his father, and I'm really proud, and it's my passion to begin with, and now it's turning into his passion as well. And people may think that, you know, all I want is to see him go on and be really successful, which is obviously what I love to see. But it's funny you should say that you use the videos to inspire young generations, because one of my principal sort of objectives, one of my principal goals, is to actually inspire the young generations in Spain. And, you know, what better than to be able to use my own son, who's already got quite a good level of potting balls, and he loves practicing and everything, use him to try and inspire the rest of the generations is like really a dream come true. And because before anything, even actually before playing, I really like promoting pool. So yeah, I'm a pool player. Yeah, I practice, I train, I compete, but I really love promoting the game. Yeah, and now I've got the extra motivation with my son, but not only that, I've got this special tool, which is my son, to be able to inspire other young people to be able to start, you know, to get into pool. And that's what we need, because in Spain, for example, if you look around, there you can count the amount of youngsters that could really go on and have a good career playing pool with one hand. And, you know, you're thinking, well, you go into other European countries like Poland and Germany and Holland, and there's like maybe 500 kids that are playing at quite a good level. Maybe not as young as my son, okay, but 10, 12, 14-year-olds, there's lots of them. And in Spain, we need more.
Well, the only problem that you have is that you did that to inspire the young generations in Spain, and you're inspiring the young generations in Latin America, because one thing that I've learned is that once a player or a social media account gets famous in Venezuela, it's going to get famous in the rest of Latin America. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I remember when we were confined, as we see Harry here just about to run this rack, both hitting the ball pretty well, pretty confident, making it look easy like the Philippine players do. Eh? It makes us Malters a bit sick.
Yeah, no. I mean, we're able to talk any subject, guys, because they don't miss. So
that's right. Yeah,
you can see a perfect rack, and you can hear us talking about other related topics. So
yeah, that's right. Well, getting back to when we were confined last year in the months of April, May, and June, my son is lucky enough to have a 6 foot English pool table in our lounge, where we watch TV. And we were doing all sorts of videos and stuff. And one of these videos, he got the snooker balls out and he was playing snooker, and he was just potting the balls. And I got my camera out, I got my phone out of my pocket, and I filmed the latter part of this rack that he was playing with the snooker balls.
Okay.
And he finished off with some 3 or 4 amazing shots and finished the table. And I put it on Facebook, not really expecting anything.
I saw it. I saw that was the first video that I saw of him. The first one.
And that was the one that suddenly it was being shared and shared and shared and shared, and it got to South America, it got to Latin America, and I'm thinking, oh my God. And suddenly it was like up to 50,000 views. And obviously, as soon as someone in Latin America shares it, and someone shares it, and then another one shares it, it goes everywhere. And that was pretty amazing. And then since then, I've kept on putting stuff on social media. But since then, very recently, the billartist David Muñoz from Menorca, he made a video of Hugo, and he put it on his social media sites. And that video went immediately up to something like, I think it's about 90,000, 95,000 views now.
Wow.
And yeah, he was speaking about how Hugo started, and so it's great. It's great fun. It's inspiring for other young generations, and hopefully it will help. He's only one kid.
Yeah, I actually wanted to find his father. I didn't know it was you, to ask him to send me a video, because I want to post it. I handled the social media for our Billiards Federation. So okay. I wanted to post it in our Instagram and Facebook account to inspire our young players. So when you have time, you can send me any video you want, and I can share, because I wanted to do it, but I didn't know who the father was. So
okay.
My bad.
No problem. I'll get you some videos over, so you can mix them up. You can play with them, do whatever you want, and use them.
The thing is, Steve, we have like probably 3 very good young players here in Venezuela, but they always say, like, I play very, very good for my age. So this is a video that throws them off balance, because they're like 12 or 10. And I'm gonna be like, hey, you're not good enough. Look at this kid, he's 7. Yeah. So that's my objective. I want to inspire, but I want to challenge.
Yeah, you want to make. You've got to make them realize that they've got to work a bit harder, maybe become a bit more disciplined, and not take things for granted.
Yeah, because even if they could be one of the best young players in Latin America, because in Venezuela we have a very high level. I mean, the best 5 or 10 players here can be in the top 20 of the whole Latin America. They need to challenge themselves with other countries, top countries like Spain. That's I mean, we cannot reference ourselves only in Latin America. So I want to challenge them, like, look, Spain, they have Jonas Soto, Alberto Delgado, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, David Alcaide, and now this monster kid. So they need to reference themselves with better countries. I mean, with top level.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You really need to make people aware of how good things are overseas in other parts of the world, for them to be able to actually think, okay, I need to work harder, I need to challenge myself more, this is not going to be that easy, and that's just going to make them better people and better players. Quite a good shot there from Arnel.
Arnel looks like Roland Garcia physically. What do you think? Yeah, like a big brother, like like an older brother from Roland, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
So getting back to this Euro Tour qualifier, folks. Basically, what has happened here is One Sports TV has put on qualifiers for this next Euro Tour in Austria. One of the the specific points about this tournament is that it's been played with the One Pool app. As we see there, Harry's just got a dry break. Okay, so this is going to give Arnel a bit of an advantage if he can keep on being constant with his break. This has been played, except this final. Everything has been played using the One Pool app. Okay, so the One Pool app is really easy to use. You download it on your phone and you can play. Finding your free, you can invite friends, you can look for different players worldwide, and it's great to use. I've got it on my phone. I've tested it quite a lot, and it's really easy to use, and it makes competing well, there's things that you could never do. You can't travel around the world. Not everybody can travel around the world competing against anyone they want to play. So this gives you the opportunity from your own table in your own club, or if you're lucky enough to have a table at home, to be able to compete against guys from around the world, which is great. And this tournament has been played 100% on the One Pool app. So as I say, except this, everything's been played on the app. And there were 22 players at the beginning of the tournament, which were separated into two groups so that we could have two finals, which would actually mean they had to play, the two finals had to play for the two places that One Sports TV is giving for the Austrian Euro Tour Open. And here we are after a week's play. And we've got this first final here between Arnel and Harry, and the next one at 6 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, and I think, Steve, the One Billiards app is also great for training, because of course you can challenge any player in the world, you can compete or whatever, but it's also a great training tool, because it's not the same to practice only drills or single shot, etc. That's an opportunity for you to practice your game with real pressure.
That's right. So yeah, it's very valuable. It's fantastic. Well, I'll tell you a little story just after we say that Arnel has not taken advantage of Harry's dry break, and he's gone and made a mirror effect of that, and he's done the same. So Harry was lucky there to get away with that one. Let's see how he does on this next break. Well, it's strange you should say that, Luis, because I was on the team testing the app. I was lucky enough to be chosen by the creators, and I was on the team testing, and I really found out that my 10-ball break was absolutely crap. It was absolutely rubbish, because what One Pool shows you is obviously in this format, if you don't get a ball off the break, you don't get any points, you don't carry on, which means you really need to practice your break. And we all know that in top play, world-class play, the break is everything, and the top players practice their break for hours. So thanks to One Pool, I've been practicing my break for probably the last 3-4 weeks non-stop. I've forgot about my game. I'm just practicing my 10-ball break, and thanks to One Pool, my 10-ball break is now really good, and I'm really enjoying playing 10-ball, because obviously you don't enjoy things that you're not doing well, suddenly when you start doing something really well, you think, okay, this is good fun now.
I like it. Yeah.
Every time I break, I'm being able to have an opportunity at least to run the balls. You might not finish every rack, but you've got the opportunity. When you haven't even got the opportunity, it gets really frustrating. So yeah, thanks to One Pool, the break, you will improve, I can guarantee, in no time at all, because you will immediately realize that if you don't break well, you don't carry on, so there's no point in playing, and you'll want to work on your break. Instead of just working on potting balls and drills and things like that. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and actually at the start, I remember when we had our first Predator One Pool Championship, a lot of fans, especially in Latin America or Spanish speaking, they were like, oh, it shouldn't be like that. 0 points if you have a dry break. You should be able to take ball in hand and make less points. And I always said what you said just now, that we need a one sports TV and one billiards app. It's all about improving yourself and challenging you to the best level in the world. So I agree 100% that if you don't make a ball, you get 0 points. It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah. There were talks about maybe in the future there's going to be some using the One Pool app. There'll be some amateur leagues, maybe start off nationally like in Spain, and maybe they were talking about for those, quite a good shot there from Harry if he doesn't run too far, maybe for those lower level players, they were going to do 15 points, 10 points, and then 5 points. I think it was sort of.
Yeah, I think 5 points if you don't make a ball and you run out the whole.
That's right. Yeah. But as you say, at a good level, when you consider yourself, at quite a good level, I'm the sort of person that wants it more difficult, not easier. I want somebody to do 100% for me, and I want to work on it. And like I say, I've been working for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I was speaking to some guys down my local club, which I'm president of my own club, and I was saying to them, look, been playing pool on and off for the last 20 years, and I don't think I've ever worked on something without success for so long. It's taken me a long time to get really in control of the 10-ball break, and I said, but I wasn't going to give in, and I didn't give in, and that was it. I mean, I just carried on until it got better. So yeah, I encourage everybody out there to download the One Pool app and One Billiards app and give it a go. It's real good fun.
Good break. I think did he make the one?
Yeah.
Okay, so he has a shot on the 2. I think it goes on the side, right?
Yep.
The thing is, I think he's gonna have a long shot on the 3. He needs to try and stay at the center of the table, and then he's gonna have a little tough shot on the 3 because I don't think he's able to draw it to a lower side of the table. What do you think, Steve?
It looks like it's got too much angle to be drawn back, so he's going to have to play up to that long, to the short rail and come back down probably. He's got no traffic in the way, so as long as he hits the ball right, he should be okay. Let's see what he decides to do here. He's given a good think.
If he was Errol Strickland, for sure he would go up 2 rails and come down for the 3. So he loves moving the cue ball. Too much spin?
Yeah, I'm surprised he played it with that much side on the cue ball instead of just coming down the other side of the 10.
Yeah, I think he had enough angle to make it without spin and coming down on the lower right side of the table. And Steve, talking about your son, how many hours and days a week is he practicing right now?
At the moment, I try and take him after school for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes after school, which is the time that I can dedicate to him before I have to go to work in the afternoon. So between the time he gets out of school and the time I have to go to work, we've got about 50 minutes. So we try to get as much time out of that as possible. So he's probably doing like 35, 40 minutes of practice after school. We try and do that every day, but I must admit that doesn't happen. There's always something that comes up during the week, and we probably miss a day. So he probably does, say, Monday, Wednesday and Thursday, and he misses Tuesday. And then on Fridays, I do some classes for young generations in the club. And I've got like 7 or 8 youngsters that come in, and Ur always comes with me. And he helps out as well, because obviously he knows exactly what he's doing now. I'm showing the basics and the fundamentals to the rest of the kids. So, you know, the other kids watch Uro, see how he does it. Uro actually goes up to them and says, no, hold the cue like this, or you have to hit the cue ball down here, or, you know, and he actually likes helping them out, so which is lovely to watch. And on Fridays, we get there about 4:30 in the afternoon. We've got an hour class with the youngsters, which finishes at 5:30. And then Uro stays on and plays until 10 o'clock. So on Fridays, he gets about 5 hours practicing.
And during the weekend?
And then at the weekend, if he's lucky, we go in on a Saturday. And that's about it, because we try to leave the weekend free.
Okay.
Most weekends, we've got a tournament somewhere, okay? Because he competes. He's the youngest ever Spanish player to compete in official competition.
Whoa.
Okay. And he competes in the Comunidad Valenciana, as we see Arnel finishing another rack there. He competes in the Comunidad Valenciana in the absolute, with all the adults in the 3rd category level. Okay, so we've got 1st category, 2nd category, and 3rd category, and he's in the 3rd category this year. He's going to be in 2nd category next year. And if he's not playing that, and there's an important competition that I'm going to, he comes as well, and he'll play whatever it is. You know, he doesn't care, you know, how high the standard is. He just wants to play. Even if he's going to get battered all the time, he just wants to play.
That's great, you know, because most kids hate losing, and they don't see the value of the experience in playing. And as you're telling me right now, he understands the difference between only winning in the process that he's in. So yeah. I think that's very valuable. He has a very keen of mind.
He's got a real good mind for a 6-year-old kid. And he comes off the table. You can tell that if he gets beat, you know, big time, he's not had many shots, he'll come off, his head will drop a few centimeters, his eyes will look down at the floor for about 5 seconds, and then he'll come over to me and he'll say, is there a table free where I can carry on playing? And off he goes, and he's got a smile back on his face. Yeah, he's very interested. So yeah, we're very fortunate to have him, and obviously it's exciting. It's exciting to say the least.
Well, another advantage that he has, besides having you as a father, is that you have great relations with the whole One Billiards team, David Alcaide, Francisco, Alberto, I mean, all of them. So
that's
right. Be able to have a lot of support over there.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we know basically, because I compete on the national rankings, and that we know basically everyone in Spain, and he has already, like Uro has already he's been to Salamanca, he's been to Madrid, he's been to Malaga, he's been to Valencia, he's been to Alicante. He's been basically to any big tournament that goes on every year in Spain. He's already been to, so everybody knows him, and everybody obviously loves him, because he was, you know, I'm talking a couple of years ago he was only 4, the last year he was only 5, now he's 6. So obviously everybody in the pool world in Spain is like, my God, it's just excellent to see how he can pick up a cue. He can't reach the table, but he can pot all the balls. But as you say, one thing is for everybody to know him, and another thing is to have a great relationship with you know, the most important people in the game, which is always going to be good for him, because they inspire him. I mean, my son's at the head of my son's bed, instead of having Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, he's got photos of David, Fran, and Paquito.
Whoa. That's good.
And now Jonas, obviously, he had a photo with Jonas, and that's the last photo that went up. And 2 weeks ago, we had the top national ladies ranking in Oropesa, in our club, which we were lucky to host. And I organized that. And Hugo came along, and of course he had a photo with Amalia Matas, which obviously she's the best feminine Spanish pool player we've ever had. Silvia Lopez as well. So, you know, he's inspired by the best players in the country, and he looks up to them, and he comes away from being with them, and he comes home and he gets his cues out and he says, Dad, I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to learn how to do that. And he gets on his little 6-foot table that he's got at home, and he could play for 3-4 hours nonstop by himself.
And does he know Dani Sanchez? Has he met Dani Sanchez yet? Or not?
He hasn't met Dani Sanchez yet, but I've showed him some videos of Dani Sanchez playing carambolas. And he's amazed.
Yeah, I think that's probably for me. I think the next meeting that's going to be very interesting for him, because Dani Sanchez, not only for me the best recursion player in the world, but also the owner of DS Billiards. So I think if meeting Dani is going to be great for his future. I mean, in terms of support, etc., especially because your son is from Spain. So
that's right. Yeah. Anything can happen. So yeah, it's very exciting.
And what cue does he use? I mean, is he playing with a certain brand or whatever?
Yeah.
I've seen the videos, but I cannot point the cue that he.
At the moment, for the last year or year and a half, he bought himself. He saw a cue in Madrid, in one of the biggest clubs in Madrid, that's called Tilt Billiards, in the center of Madrid. We've got family in Madrid. My wife's family live in Madrid, so we go there pretty often, and I always take Hugo down to Tilt to have some games. And there was a big cabinet there, and he saw a cue, and he's, Daddy, can I buy this? Can I buy this? I said, I don't know, have you got enough money? And he said, well, I've got some I've saved up some coins. So I said, well, we'll have to break the piggy and see how many coins you've got in there and see if you can afford to buy this cue. So he bought this cue, which was nothing special, no special brand. He just liked the colors. And, you know, as a father, I thought, if it's going to motivate him and keep him interested in the game, I can't say no. So I said, okay, let's see if you can get it. So we got it. And just after he bought that, Pro Cues, Richie from Pro Cues, started with his Infinity shaft, the carbon shaft, and he called me up and he said, I'd like to send the carbon shaft to Hugo so that he can play with it, etc. So he's been playing with that for the last year and a half, really happy. He got some equipment from On Cyberg. Do you know On Cyberg from Portugal? Yes. Bruno sent him some gloves and some chalks and some tips so that he could use his stuff as well. And and we're just taking it from there, basically. No rush for anything new. He's having fun, which is the most important thing. As we see Bautista finishing another rack there. That's what's the score? So it's 50-45.
Yeah, if we see the score, guys, it's amazing. They've had mostly 10 and 15 runs.
It's incredible.
Harry has from 3 15s, Bautista 2 10s and 2 15s. So as we said, the level is very high. Any Filipino player is amazing.
Yeah, world class. This is world class, guys. And these guys, one of the conditions for those viewing out there, remind you there's a Euro Tour qualifier for Austria, put on by One Sports TV. They used the One Pool app all the way through the qualifying games. These guys have to play, Arnold's had to play 2 matches to get to this final, and Harry's had to play 3 matches to get to this final, and they've played all these matches on the One Billiards app. And just reminding you that this is the one of the 2 finals that we've got up for you today, and the winner will take a place in the Euro Tour plus $150 to help out with the expenses. But one of the conditions to be able to play this, to be able to play this and compete in this qualifier, is that they couldn't be in the rankings in the top 100. Okay, you could not be in the top 100 of the European rankings. So considering maybe these guys, have not, they wouldn't be in the top 100 anyway, because they wouldn't go to all the Euro Tours being Philippine players. But considering their condition of being out of the top 100, the level of play is amazing.
Oh,
they're
yes.
Right up.
It's really, I mean, when you see the numbers, as you said, this is world class. I mean, these are the results that we see on any top player that plays here.
Oh, that's right. I mean, well, let's see when they finish these 10 innings. Let's see what points they get to. But anything near 100 or just over 100 is top scoring. You don't see many 10 innings over 100, and they're heading right for it. They're breaking well. They're finishing the racks. So yeah, it's great to watch. And just to mention again about the good work that One Sports and One Pool are putting on, to be able to qualify for Euro Tours from your own country, from your home, that's another big advantage of being, all of the internet, these apps, such a great app like One Billiards. These events are going to make real good progress for pool in general, because lots more people that would not travel or would not have the funds to be able to pay for high entry fees and things like that, and traveling and hotels, they're going to be able to qualify at a fifth of the cost, which is really good for pool, because there's lots of good players out there that just don't compete enough because they can't afford to do it, which I think is great for the sport.
Yeah, actually, when I saw the news that one pool was going to be able to qualify players to the Euro Tour, I wrote instantly to David Alcaide, like, David, is this true?
Is this true? That's right. Yeah.
I mean, this is like another whole another level for One Pool, because you're now influencing the top tournaments in the world. So yeah, I was very excited. I was like in shock. Like, David, is this true? I'm very excited. Yeah. I need to know. And he was, yes, okay.
Yeah, great work. As we see, I think another dry break there. Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that, because this is it's tight stuff. Every time they get a ball off the break, they're finishing the rack. So that's a big loss when you get a dry break at this level. It makes a big difference.
No, and he has a lot of pressure, because during the second half of the first set, Harry's playing great. So he knows that it's critical to have a dry break at this stage of the first set.
That's right, yeah.
I don't know if Harry knows that he can break. Yeah, okay, he's breaking. So I'm very happy that as we were talking about your son, that he's getting a lot of support. I actually know Pro Qs, because the extension of my Carom Q, I have a Longoni where I play 3 cushions also, is from Pro Qs. So I know the brand, and I know they're great. And I'm very happy to know that your son at 6 years old is getting support from great brands. I mean, it's very exciting.
Yeah, it's obviously there's going to be interest, isn't there? Because even, I'm his father. I see him every day, and sometimes probably he doesn't impress me as much as he impresses other people, because I see him every day, and you know, in the end, you actually get used to it, and you have to I have to remind myself actually how well he's playing for a kid that's only 5-6 years old and he can't even reach the table. But obviously, for other people out there, players, you know, billiard companies from the industry, he's going to be attractive because he's so little. And there's going to be interest, obviously.
Yeah,
I mean, I've talked to Fran and David, but Fran said to me one day, we were in a competition the other side of Spain, and he said, look, I was really young, but not this young. He said, I wasn't playing important competitions until I was like 10, 11 years old. He said, Hugo is playing against top guys, which is great experience, even if he's losing. It's great experience and he's only 6. He said, by the time he's 10, the experience that he's going to have is going to be amazing. He's like 3 or 4 years in advance over me. And this was Fran talking about himself, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing to think about.
Yeah, and I think that one thing that you're doing great, and I thought of it as the guy that's the father of this kid, I didn't know it was you, that you're not only, I mean, your son plays great, right? But also you're handling great the social media, because I think the future in pool is not only about making balls. It's like having a good image, being an athlete. I mean, handling the social media. I mean, I think that's 50% of the job. And I think a lot of top players still don't realize that they need to have strong social media to attract fans, attract brands, and to be known, because it's not only about making all the balls, it's about inspiring.
Yeah, it's inspiring, creating an image, a sellable image, a good image. And I think something important about what you said for Paul these days, if we want it to go further and further, is the word athlete. Athlete is the best word you can think of if you want to speak about pool and you want it to be thought of as a sport, because we all know how difficult it is for people to see pool as a real sport. Obviously, we're in it. We know there's a big industry, and there's top competitions, and we know that these days there are athletes out there that will sleep like a footballer, they will eat like a footballer, and they will do lots of things to make their game that little bit better. But in the general, you know, the general point of view from the people that are out there that are not well into pool, is that pool's not a sport. So I think we have to create an image of athletes. You know, we play this game, but we don't play it. We compete, we train. And when I speak to my son, I say, we're going to train. We're not going to play. We're going to train. Okay. I'm not saying that it's difficult because he's only 6 and I want him to have fun, but I still use the correct word because I want him to think of it in the disciplined way, not in, we're just going to play. We're going to play. Is he going to run a bit too far? He has. Oh my God.
That's a very tough shot. I've actually practiced this shot, not so close, obviously, a little bit further with the cue ball, but the thing is, you have a lot of drag. You need to hit it thinner than it looks if you want to make it on either of the sides, on the bottom of the table. So it's a little tricky. You have a lot of drag because the cue ball is very close to the 10 ball.
Yeah. What would you want to take here? I know what my son would do. He'd say, I just bank this like David Alcaide.
No, I would hit it thin. I will only be worried about the cue ball because it's gonna have a lot of rails. I will hit it very thin with right spin to overcut it. I mean, to have a better position. But the thing is, the cue ball is gonna move a lot. I wouldn't bank it. I only take banks when I have like a good angle. I think it's too close to judge the bank. Of
Yeah.
course, I don't have the talent of your son, but if I had, I would bank it, but I'm not able to make that bank. So.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, perfect. See, okay, so perfect.
Very
and yes, I think I'm gonna say a couple of names that I think that for me are the future of pool. Not only because they're great players, but they're athletes. I mean, we have Tyler Steyer, Margaret Fefilova, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, Jonas Soto, Eklen Kachi. I mean, if you see their social media and you know them guys, they're athletes. I mean, they go to the gym, they eat healthy, they sleep right, they practice, they train a lot. I mean, I think the future of professional pool is like that. And I think, I'm sure that your son is on that path. I mean, the path of an athlete. I mean, he goes to school, he studies, he trains. I mean, it's not only about playing, it's not only about being in a bar with drinks or whatever. I mean, it's a sport.
That's right. That's what we want. That's what we want, and that's what we want everybody to see. We don't want anybody to see the other side, which we know exists, and we can't eliminate it. But what we can do is say, yes, that side exists, but the majority, it's a sport, and the majority of us, we confront this as a sport, and we want to practice it as a sport. And that's what we want to put out there so everybody can see it. And that would help for mums and dads to be able to think, okay, yeah, I'll let my son practice this. It's so good for kids. Pool is brilliant for kids. It gives them so many benefits. We're not only talking about coordination and things like that, and general abilities. We're talking about everything from concentration, being able to act under pressure. There's resolve problems in a few seconds. Everything about pool is good for your mind and your body. So it's great for kids. And the more parents that see that, the luckier we will be, because there'll be more children playing. And going back to the beginning of our conversation, obviously I love the sport. Obviously I love playing. Obviously I'm grateful, to be able to train my son and see him progress. But I think one of the biggest parts of me says this is great for the sport. For everybody to be able to see Hugo is great for the sport.
Yes, it is, for sure. I mean, the amount of inspiration that he's given Latin America, let's say that's my universe. I'm very, I know all the players, all the federation, etc. And I know that in a couple of weeks, I think the last 3 weeks is the timeline when I have received videos of Hugo from everyone, because I know everyone in the pool world here. So the national trainer, one of the top players in Colombia, Ariel Castro, the Argentinian champion. I mean, all of them. I mean, everyone has been sending me the videos in all of the groups, the chats for the federations or the pool halls or whatever. Dario Guanipa, one of our Venezuelan champions, they're like, oh my God, look at this kid. And it was like, whoa. I mean, I've seen him a lot. I followed him actually both Instagram and Facebook, but I never in my life thought or knew that he was your son. I didn't connect the dots.
It's amazing. Yeah, amazing. He only just finished that rack, Arnel there. He left himself quite a difficult shot on the 9, but he potted it really well and controlled that cue ball onto that just next to the center pocket, and was able to finish. So it's still tight going here, 60-70, but Harry should be able to take out, if he gets a good break here, a bit more of a lead. And it's coming towards the end of this set, so we're getting down to the business end of this first 10 innings.
He needs to take ball in hand for sure. He shoot with 7, I think, or no, that's a 4. Sorry, so he's going for 10.
Heidi, Joanna, thank you very much for the stars. Much appreciated. Hope you're enjoying this. we're watching some top class pool here. This is great. Good afternoon to Vicente Romeo, who's also watching. Good friend of mine. I've known him for the last at least 25 years. We've been playing pool together. And to the rest of you out there, hope you're enjoying. Luis and I, we're having a great time.
Yeah, I'm having a great Sunday. I mean, Mother's Day, World Cup of Pool, one pool ever, two qualifier. It doesn't get any better than this. I'm also very informed of the Copa Espana. I'm supporting Alberto Delgado and Jona Soto. So I think this is the most 100% pool day that I've had in the last year and a half.
Yeah, that's great. I'm just trying to see if I can get up an update on the scores. Here we go, live. Okay, let's get down here. Quarterfinals, okay, of the Copa Espana.
Okay.
We've got one guy's through, Iker Andoni Echevarria, very one of our top players. He's just beat Eric Rodriguez 8-3 to go through to be the first player in the semifinals. We've got Jose Alberto Delgado is only 7-6 up against Pelayo Coeli, who's the young kid that I was telling you about.
Whoa, that's right, to 9 or to 8?
That's to 8. So it's 7-6 to Jose Alberto Delgado.
Vamos, Alberto.
And then we've got Jonas is 7-5 up on Fran Alonso, two other great players, but obviously we know that Jonas is on fire lately. It's very difficult to beat Jonas these days. And the other guys, Miguel Angel Crespo and Telmo Torres, they're 5-4. So in a few minutes, we're going to have another two semi-finalists.
And if Jonas wins and Alberto wins, are they going to collide in semifinals or not?
No, they can't play until the final.
Okay.
So we could have Jose Alberto Delgado and Jonas in the final of this last Copa Espana, which would be a great final as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I'm supporting the 12-year-old kid, of course, but I'm close friends with Alberto. I mean, Alberto, for those that you don't know, guys, he lives in Spain and he's a Spaniard, but he's Venezuelan also. So he's like a part of Latin America. So I'm great friends with him, and I met Jona Soto, so I'm supporting both of them.
Yeah. Pelayo's not 12 anymore. He's now probably about 16, 17. He was 12 when I met him a few years ago. Okay, Jose Alberto's just gone through 8-6.
Okay.
So getting back to the business end of this first set, that's 8 out of 10 innings played. It's 60-80. So obviously, mathematically, Harry has still not won, but he has got most of the way. He has done most of the work. As long as he doesn't get 2 dry breaks, he should be taking this first rack. And I'm saying should based on the performance so far. Okay, I don't want to be the
commentator's curse.
Yeah, I don't want to curse with the yeah, I want everything to go well. Okay, another pretty good break there, although he hasn't got a shot on the 1, I don't think. So he's going to have to take ball in hand.
Yeah, he needs to go for 10. The 9 is on the way. But I think other than that, when he makes the 1, he frees the 8 and the rest of the rack. Probably the toughest position is going from the 3 to the 4. Maybe played on the left side, but I think it's doable. And in terms of World Cup of Pool update, guys, Czech Republic versus Hungary. Czech Republic is 6-4 up against Hungary. And they just won the match.
Well done, Czech Republic.
So yeah, he played for the 4 on the left side, as I said. He should be okay. Probably is gonna get as Tony Robles says, a friendly bumperoni on the 9, but he should be okay to get a shot on the 7. Okay, he avoided the bump, and he's perfect. He's perfect on the 8. I think he played it with inside English to maintain that line. Arnel doesn't only look like the older brother of Roland Garcia. He plays very similar. I mean, and I'm not only talking about Filipino style of play, I'm talking about Roland style of play. Perfect.
He keeps the pressure on. And as we said, Harry just needs to make a ball off the break to continue with his really good run in this set. Jonas Soto has just taken his set against Fran Alonso, so he's the next semi-finalist. Another good break, good cue ball, but
no, I don't think he has a shot. I think he needs to take one hand. I think the 7's on the way. So he's going for 10. I think he's watching to see, he needs to get straight on the 2 to be able to make the 3 on the top left corner pocket. So probably that's why he's taking his time to get that perfect angle on the 2. I think he has a little bit more angle than he wanted, but he should be able to maintain the tension line to make the cut on the 3. And then he's, I don't know if that's the 4 on the top, but he should be okay by making the 3. Yeah, he's okay. Perfect. I've never seen Harry Vergara play. I mean, I didn't know him as a player, but one of the things that I like, he plays so relaxed. I mean, he's playing like he's having fun. I mean, practicing. I don't see any type of pressure in his face or body language.
which is something that the Philippine players probably are very characteristic about. The majority of them do actually look like they're just having fun, and it's probably because they grow up getting rid of that pressure from a young age, because they're always, playing big matches, money matches, all sorts of things. And I think that probably helps, because then everything else seems to be pretty easy, pressure-wise.
They play so relaxed. It's really amazing.
They're so fluent. It's so natural.
Well, if I'm not wrong, I think pool is like the second or third biggest sport in Philippines.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you said it was the first.
Yeah, no, I didn't say the first because I don't want the fans, saying like, Luis, not that, it's cricket or whatever. But
yeah.
I think 90% sure it's the second. So I'm gonna say second, guys. Okay. Second biggest sport in Philippines.
Yeah, I think where Maradona is God to the Argentinians, I think Efren must be God to the Philippines.
For sure. He's a celebrity there. I don't think he's had to pay for a drink or a meal in 10 years or whatever. But
That's right.
Even if I meet him, I'm gonna buy him something. Like, what do you need, Efren? What do you want?
Okay, by him taking ball in hand here, this would take him to 80 if he finishes this rack. So it will all depend on what Harry does on the next innings, because Harry could take it immediately to a winning situation before they go into the 10th inning.
Yeah, he needs a dry break from Harry, or he's going to lose the first.
Yeah.
Another thing that I love about most Filipino players, I don't know, Steve, if you play with a glove or not. I play with a glove. I would love to be able to play without a glove. I would love it, but I'm not able to.
I played for the first years that I played pool. I always played without a glove, and I always played with wood, obviously, like everybody.
Okay.
And I used to use quite a lot of talc to keep everything smooth, which was always dirtying the table, and my hands were white. And in the end, just before I changed to carbon fiber, I'd already started using the glove, even with wood. And then when I changed to carbon fiber, I can't find a way of playing with carbon fiber without a glove, because it's so much more sticky than the wood. That's my experience anyway. And so yeah, I definitely play with a glove now. And I find it hard, after so many years playing without the glove, I find it hard to not use the glove now. So yeah, it's the way it is. But yeah, I do remember my days of playing without the glove, and I remember them well. And I think, yeah, I used to play. You've got more of a feel of the cue on the bridge hand. And I think the more feel you've got, the better. He's left himself quite a complicated shot here. He's going to have to play a little quality shot with some deep drag.
He needs to avoid giving it a lot of spin like he did with the other shot, to be able to get to the 8 in the proper angle. Whoa.
Oh, what a great shot.
Played it 3 cushions. I thought he was going to play it 1 or 2 cushion on the left side without spin. I never thought he was going to play it 3 cushions like that.
Amazing. I didn't expect that either. That was a really good shot.
That's why I said that he should play it without spin. I thought he was going on the left side of the table. But if you have that type of talent, go for it, Arnel. I mean, you
That's
can
right.
do it.
Okay, so it's all up to Harry now.
He needs to make a ball, guys, to make sure he can close the set. So all pressure on Harry.
He's got the ball and he's got a very open table. So he just needs 6 points to make sure of this set.
I think it's okay. Probably he wanted to be further from the right rail, but I think it's okay.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a difficult stun shot here if he wants to stay on the 3 because he's so close to the rail. And he's probably got a little bit more angle than what he wanted. So I don't know if he'll choose to move the white ball a bit more instead of, no, he's still trying to stun this ball to stop it dead. He should be okay. He's queuing really well.
Yeah, that's perfect. You know, another thing that we can try, Steve, if you want in the future, I don't know if you knew, but during the first stage of the pandemic last year, the Latin American Billiard Federation gave me the opportunity of interviewing in our social media the best players in the world to keep people like interested, busy. I mean, I interviewed Kelly Fisher, Alison Fisher, Darren Appleton, etc. So if you want, someday we can make a short interview with you and your son. I think it would be great for all of the Latin American fans to get to know him, especially now that he's famous. So if you want that, the day that you want it, next week or the next or whatever, we can do it. So
yeah, no problem. That would be great. Yeah, of course. Everything that you know, as I said, anything that contributes to making our world bigger, you know, the pool world, billiards, we're up for. So yeah, you won't get many words out of my son. He's really shy.
no, it's okay.
All he likes doing is putting balls, but his dad likes talking just a bit. So.
No, and that's why I said a short interview. And if you want, it doesn't have to be like the traditional interview, him sitting on the chair. And I mean, it can be in your pool hall. I mean, it can be there. You can have your phone. I mean, it can be very, I mean, not formal, you know?
Yeah, an informal, a fun way,
Yes, he can be playing. I mean, he can be practicing or playing, and I mean, you can be the guy talking. I mean, we show him playing. I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'll have to get in touch, and I'll send you those videos and things anyway, and then yeah, we'll set up a date for a little chat so that you can use it to contribute. Okay, so Harry got his
first set.
He got that first set. Yeah. Are they going to finish, Andres? Are they going to finish the set anyway? Okay, so we're going to start the new one. Okay.
Yeah, they don't need to finish. We can go to the second set, guys.
Having said that, Harry could have made a total of 120 points in this set, which is really, really top.
Yeah,
top.
it's really good, guys. It's making 10 points on each of the innings. That's taking ball in hand and running out and having a break and run. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Dry break.
Yeah, it's going to be a dry break to start here from Arnold, so he's not going to be happy with that. Not the best way to start the second set, especially after just losing the first set. He's playing catch up, guys. So, yeah, this is going to give Harry a bit more of, relaxation of mind. He looks relaxed enough, as you said before, Luis, but this gives him more of a comfort to start off his next set, because if he can pot a ball here, he knows that every point will be in his favor.
Yes, Arnel.
Student, I think I have one game.
You started the second set. The first, it was over. Harry won the first set.
Start na yun. I start na yun? Sorry. Okay.
He didn't realize. He thought it was the last break of the first set.
Harry will continue, huh?
Yes, Harry, you can continue, buddy.
Continue.
Continue.
Yeah, so guys, the first set went to Harry, and Arnel was asking, he didn't realize the first set was over. So yes, we're at the second set. Harry won the first. If Harry is able to win the second set, he gets through and get his spot to the Euro Tour. I think it's going to be in Austria.
Yes, from the 17th to 20th of June in Austria. That's right, Luis. In the state of Salzburgo.
And do you know if Alvin and Max and the Panda live close to that city, or?
I don't actually know where they actually reside. No.
Me neither.
Austria's not that big, so nothing can be that far away.
Okay.
Luis, actually, can you see why he's so relaxed? Can you see the massage sofa that he's got in the left?
He probably had a massage previous to the match, guys. So he's from Philippines and he has a massage chair. So you're not gonna get another player so relaxed. And now that he won the first set, I mean,
he's gonna cue even better.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be like, he's on vacations right now. He's like, what I'm gonna eat on the afternoon, what I'm doing tomorrow.
I mean, if I had a massage chair like that one, I think I could play a relaxed game of pool.
No, and it looks very, I mean, very high tech. I've never seen a massage table, I mean, chair like that in my life. Looks like a spaceship.
I saw it. It's funny because I saw one the other day on TV and I thought, oh my God, look at that. And then when we came on to this match and I saw it and I said it to Andres, I said, look, Andres, have you seen the chair? He said, yeah, it's amazing. And now I can see how cool this guy is, Harry. I'm thinking, yeah, I know why.
But imagine that pool hall. You can play like 3-4 hours, have a massage, eat something, play another 3-4 hours. I mean, if I had a pool like that in Venezuela, I would like living there.
Yeah, it's paradise, isn't it? You'd want your bed under the table or something.
Yeah, I mean, looks great. I didn't see it. It was very funny to notice it right now.
So he takes the first rack of this set with 15. So he's basically continuing where he left off the first set, looking really, really good. And Arnold's got a lot of work to do.
And do you know, Steve, at what time are the semifinals of the Copa Espana? Do you know what time are they?
They're usually at about 5 o'clock. So let's have a look. Yeah, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock means they're in 40 minutes time. And we've got the finalists, which are Miguel Angel Crespo, the semi-finalists, Miguel Angel Crespo against Jonas Soto and Jose Alberto Delgado against Iker. So they're going to be 2 tough matches. I'd say before we start the match, I'd say that Jose Alberto's match is going to be more difficult than Jonas's match.
Okay.
But you never know. You could say that because you know the guys, you know how they play. I know that Jonas is really on fire. But having said that, Jonas only won the quarterfinals 8-6. It wasn't like an 8-1 or an 8-2 victory. So anything can happen. And the guys everyone that went through into the last 32 today, they're all good players. So, and we're playing 9-ball pool, and we know what 9-ball ball is like. So anything can happen.
So we're going to be able to, it's going to be, when we have the second match of the day, the second Euro 2 qualifier, we're going to be able to keep the guys posted on the matches, right? Yeah,
I'm sure we will. Yeah, because, well, at least, for example, we're going to be able to, when we get back for our second match for the Euro Tour quali, these semi-finals are going to be just about to finish. So that'll be good. We'll be able to talk about that. And then just after the semi-finals, it's programmed for 7 o'clock, the finals. So that'll be started. We'll know who's playing that one.
Perfect. So guys, to keep you an update on the World Cup of Pool, because you know that you love one pool, but you want to know everything, and we're keeping you posted on Copa Espana and everything that's going on today. Austria is tied 1-1 against Slovakia. In the last rack, Austria made some amazing shots. They made a jump and a bank to get the last rack. So it's very fun. What would you do there on the 6, Steve? You have an angle on the 5, but you need to you're going to get a very thin cut on the 6, and maybe you can hook the 8. It's not an easy shot.
It's a very, very difficult shot to take. Wherever you leave the cue ball, you're going to have a really fine shot on the 6 down that long rail. I think you have to play it how he's working it out, and just be confident of your potting abilities. That's right. That's more or less where he wants the cue ball, and he knows that if he gets the 6, he's going to be automatically on the 8 ball in the center pocket afterwards. But it's easier said than done.
Let's see the angle.
He's got the white ball exactly where he wanted it. Maybe it's just a bit too far.
No, but he's okay.
It's good.
I don't know, because of the angle of my camera is to make the thin cut with a little bit of left spin to make sure
that he doesn't clip the 8.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe Filipino style of spin. That is, they don't use a lot of spin, so. For them,
well, you wouldn't want to use too much on a shot like this, because the shot's difficult enough as it is. So too much left-hand side may make the possibility of missing a bit easier. But He's played it well.
Whoa.
That's a good shot. That's a good shot. Yeah, he's just in the middle of nowhere there. He didn't want to be. He either wanted the cue ball to come out a bit further so he could take this into center pocket, make it easy, but he's just going to have to run round a couple of cushions here for the 9 where he's standing at the moment. Pretty easy, but you got to get it right.
Perfect.
Nice stun run through there. So as you can see, guys, the first innings for Arnel was a dry break, and then he's got 15. Harry started off with 15. So, you know, virtually we're one dry break away from everything being level. But I must say that Harry's not making many dry breaks. He was very successful in his first 10 innings. But yeah, he seems to he's got into a rhythm with his break, and he's breaking really well, and he's getting at least one ball in the center pocket every break, which is what you want when you're playing this format, because you really need to work your break well. Then if you take ball in hand or not, you know, it's not the most important thing. Just get a ball off the break, and you're at least you've got a chance. Oh, he ran quite far there.
Even he gave it an inside spin, but I think the angle was too thin.
That's right. Yeah, he couldn't stop it. He needed ABS brakes on that one, and he didn't have them.
It was very tough. I don't know if he can hold the tension line for the 3. I don't know. I think he.
Yeah, this is when you'd want to go back to the normal format and hook him behind the black, and that's it.
Yeah. I forget that in the regular format you can play defense. So.
That's right.
Whoa.
That's great.
No, he's okay. It was a great shot avoiding the
traffic. That's right. He avoided the 7, the 9, and the 5, and he came all the way round. And he's got a perfect angle here to come down for 4. And the only other problem ball, if you want to call it a problem, is the 7 ball. But if it's on in the center pocket, past the 9, it's not even a problem ball there. Just needs the correct angle on this after the 4. That's right. He's just looking now because he needs to be low for this 5, because then he's got to go high on the 7 to put it in the center pocket, in the same pocket that he wants to pot the 5. As long as he gets that right and he doesn't forget potting the 4.
Whoa.
Which sometimes happens. We know this, Luis, don't we? Where you put all the concentration where you want the cue ball, and suddenly you miss the pot. We call it percentages. You know, normally you're putting sort of like 60% into the pot, 40% into position. Sometimes you put more into the pot and less into the position, and sometimes it's the other way around. You put 80% or 90% into the position, and you only leave 20 or 10% for the pot, and that's what usually happens.
And especially in this shot, he needed to focus a lot on the position, because the line to be able to make the 3 was very, very close, very small area. The area where he needed to make the cue was very small.
That's right. Okay, so he didn't get the dry break, but he only got 4 points, which theoretically equals this up. But as we say that, we get another dry break from Arnel, who looks disgusted with that. He can't believe he's not putting the ball off his break. He's probably putting balls all the time off of his break. And now that it matters, he's not.
It's actually like a horror movie.
Yeah, that's right.
One thing that happens to me, Steve, I don't know if it happens to you because you're so calm and so, but I'm very emotional. So when I'm commentating or watching any type of pool match, even if I don't know the players, I feel like I'm the player. So I actually feel bad about the dry break because I feel like I'm him.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel for them a lot. I tell you what, if you see me, I'm a big fan. I'm a big snooker fan. I've watched snooker all my life. I was brought up in London, and I played snooker when I was a kid. And you know, I sit on the edge of my sofa and watch snooker, and I just feel everything. I've got hairs on end. I feel bad for players. I can cry watching matches at the end when somebody wins, and they can see their happiness and their joy. So yeah, I might come across on the commentaries as being quite calm and collected, but no, I'm the actual reality is that I'm such an emotional person that when I play pool, I've lost a lot of matches because I can't control my emotions.
Okay.
You know, we all know that pool is 80%. You need the talent and the work, but it's 80% mind control. And I've played really well and still lost matches just because I haven't been able to keep everything under control in my mind, which is really frustrating, as you probably understand.
Yeah, and actually when you said that, when David Alcaide won the last World Masters against Kazakis, when he made the bank, I actually cried of happiness and I screamed. I got to the floor. I wrote to him via WhatsApp like, vamos! I mean, I was like impacted and shocked about the win in a positive way, like for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we played it again and again and again at home. And of course, for you, it was early, but here we were waking the neighbors up because Hugo and I, Hugo was up. It was past midnight, and Hugo and I were sitting up watching it. And I can remember us, what a shot there. Is he going to be on the 2? No, he's not. And I can remember us shouting when the 9 went in, and then thinking, oh my God, it's really late. We shouldn't be shouting like this. But you can't help yourself. And I did feel, I mean, obviously we're big David Alcaide fans, but I did feel bad for Kazakis after that last frame. And, you know, that final was his, and David just fought and fought and fought until he got back in. And then the last frame was just like, you know, we've never seen anything bigger. It was dramatical. And since then, Hugo's favorite shot is the long bank shot. Now, he always, if he in a game or in a match, he can go for one. He'll say, "I'm going for it. It's David's shot. It's my favorite shot."
That's why you asked me with the 10 ball that it was very close to the 2 ball at the 50-yard line. Like, Luis, would you take the bank? No, of course. I don't have the talent of your son, and I don't have the inspiration of David Alcaide. So no, I'm taking the thin cut. Thank you.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very emotional. I actually watched it live, and it was, I mean, it changed. I mean, I love the game, but those type of moments, you love it even more.
Yeah. And you're suffering. I mean, you can feel the pressure. You can probably feel more pressure than David was feeling. It's like that was a difficult bank to take on. He didn't have many options, but But I mean, you know how much tension there is out there in that match. And even so, I mean, my heart was beating. It was beating. I could feel it without putting my hand to my chest. I could feel my heart beating in my chest.
Me too, me too. I was shaking on my hand. I was a little bit shaking, like, I mean, and then the shot clock went off, like tee.
Yeah.
It was like, David, shoot, David, shoot.
Yeah. It was incredible. And what a shot to pot at that moment in time. I mean, it's going to go down as one of the best finishes to any championship ever. You know, it's a classic.
He made the 6 on the side, so no dry break. I think he has a shot on the 1, so probably the toughest. I know. Yes, he has a shot on the 1, right?
He's got shot on the 1. It's very fine. So this white ball, the cue ball, is going to travel quite a lot, which is going to be difficult to control for the 2 ball, because he can put the 2 ball in the same pocket as the 1 ball. He's just got to make sure this cue ball ends up in the right position, which is probably the most difficult part of this shot.
Whoa.
But that's a great shot. That's a really good shot. Look at that.
You know something, Steve? One of the reasons, one of my dreams is traveling to Philippines to play in one time in my life. I need to do it. But one of the reasons I'm not going to play money to any Filipino player that I don't know who he is a player like Arnel. Arnel is a guy that I see him physically in a pool room, and he says, "Do you want to play?" I will be like, "Yes, I can beat you. I mean, no problem." And when you watch him play, it's like a horror movie. I mean, he will take all of my money. He will take all of my savings, my house, my cars, my dignity, my values, everything. He would take it. So, guys, I'm not gonna play you money when I go to the Philippines. Okay, I'm gonna be smart. So maybe if I see Harry with the hat and the sleeves, I will be like, okay, I need to see you play. But with Arnold, I will be like, yes, you're like a fun uncle. You look very nice. Yeah. I mean, see? No, it would be terrible.
Yeah, he looks like he just came to the pool hall for a coffee, not to play.
Yes. Like I played like 20 years ago, but I don't play a lot right now. But I'm very nice. And he would take all my savings. And to give you an update, guys, on the World Cup of Pool, Slovakia is beating Austria 3-1, and they're breaking right now.
Wow. Yeah, I remember the billardist, David Munoz, when he made his trip to Philippines, and he was out there with his rucksack, traveling around the pool halls looking for players. He was fortunate enough to meet Efren there, but you know, his main story was, you know, there's kids left, right, and center in these pool halls with equipment that, you know, is definitely not as good as the equipment we're used to playing on, with cloths that are, you know, 3 years old, and he was saying, but you know, any of them pick up a cue, and it doesn't matter what cue it is, and they can play. I mean, they are just excellent, as we see Harry there scratching off his break. So this set is turning in the other direction after a good start from Harry. It looks like Arnold is eventually getting just a bit on top here, but yeah. So, and he was saying, you know, you walk into anywhere and you've got school kids, and they'll pick up a cue, and you'll think, oh my God, how do they play? You know, it's absolutely amazing. So I'd love to do it as well. I'd love to, you know, pick up my cue.
Yeah, for us, it would be like going to a World Cup of soccer. I mean, it would be like an experience that if you're a pool player,
Yeah,
you need to do it. You need to
yeah,
live the atmosphere. That is a pool table every block, that you can play anywhere, that everyone plays great. I mean, I think it's like the energy that we need to get inside.
yeah,
It's like a one in a lifetime opportunity experience for the pool players.
yeah. Actually, whilst we're discussing it, it'd be I've just, you've just given me the idea of packing a big bag and getting Ulr's cues and my cues and getting on a plane and taking him there to show him what Philippines is all about.
Yeah, and because of his level, I mean, at his age, I'm sure he's the best in Spain, probably the best in Europe, but in Philippines, he's gonna have a challenge because probably they're gonna be 5 or 6 year olds that play like him. So I think it's gonna be very inspiring, not only seeing top players, elite players, or players like Arnold that could take your savings, but a player from young ages, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it'd be amazing to see and amazing for him as an inspiration. And, I've always said the more youngsters that he sees play the same game as he's playing, because sometimes it's like he's a little kid in a strange world, because he's doing something that other kids don't do and is always amongst adults. So sometimes I think he's going to lose interest because no one else is doing this. But then suddenly we go somewhere and there's a 14-year-old, there's a 12-year-old, there's a 16-year-old, and you can see in his eyes that he's thinking, "Oh, look, they're more like me." They're not as small as him, but
I'm not alone. I'm not alone.
Yeah, I'm not alone. That's right. So, and it keeps him going. So it would be great to be able to go and mix with some real young kids and give him the experience of being able to see the pool culture that they've got in Philippines. You can virtually smell the atmosphere everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like going to Brazil to see soccer. I mean, they play soccer everywhere in Brazil.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you've got the kids playing with the football everywhere in everywhere. So yeah, it'd be basically the same. Yeah, I'm sure he'd really enjoy it. So maybe we'll put that in our agenda, and if we can do that in a couple of years' time, when he's just a bit better, that would be great.
And as we're seeing, Arnel is searching for. Is he cleaning that Q-tip?
I don't know if he's cleaning the Q-tip or he's just drying with. That's an air conditioning unit, I think. I think he's drying it looked like he was drying the shaft. Maybe there's a bit of humidity. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing.
Okay, so as we were talking, Steve, he plays without a glove, so that's his technique. You talked about that you put a lot of chalk.
Talc.
Or what do you use?
Yeah.
Okay,
talcum powder. Yeah.
He uses the air conditioning to be able to play without the glove.
Yeah. Well, anyone, any trick that works is a good trick.
And to give you an update, guys, and Steve, Slovakia is beating Austria 4-1, and they're breaking.
4-1. Wow.
Very unexpected for you guys that don't follow the World Cup of Pool. Austria has won 2 of the last 3 years, and the year that they didn't win, they got to the finals.
That's interesting.
And talking about the One Billiards app, I think one of the benefits that we can take about the app with our conversation, Steve, is that you can play with a lot of players from Philippines, and you can see the level that any guy has, and you can practice and be able to inspire yourself. Because if you're not able to go to Philippines like I want to do, and like I'm sure you're going to do in a couple of years with your son, I mean, you can play with them and see the high level that most of the players have. So you can not only have great matches, but practice.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Very good.
You make a ball. He has a shot on the one. So probably Harry's going to go for 15 points that he desperately needs if he wants a shot on winning the second set. If not, we're going to have a decider, guys.
That's right. The decider works by one rack each, and the most points in that first rack would win. If there was a draw, they'd take another rack each. But the decider is just one rack. Did you draw that enough? Maybe. Just.
I think it's okay. Barely, but I think it's okay. One thing that I've noticed about Harry is that he's not afraid of elevating the cue. Every time he elevates the cue for different type of shots, he makes the ball and he gets good position. So he feels very comfortable with that type of shots.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a shot in the last set that we were talking about. He just left the cue ball too near to the long rail. He was taking a shot in the center pocket and he had to hold the line. And the same, he just lifted up and went through as clean, as natural as he does when he doesn't lift his back arm up, which is, it just goes to show the class of his play.
And to give you an update, Slovakia is beating Austria 5-1.
They're winning racks faster than Harry.
Yes, no, and they play great. I've never seen this player from Slovakia, but they have great technique, great fundamentals. They're very relaxed, very serious. I mean, if you were playing the reigning champions of the 2 of the 3 last years, I would expect them to be nervous, but they're playing like, I don't know, anyone. And as you said, pool is 80% mental. So I think this is an example.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Harry's just about to finish this one. He was playing for 15, so he really needed this, as you said, Luis, and he's got it. So he's keeping the pressure on here. Really close, going into the 6th innings, 40-38, as you can see, guys. Yeah, it's looking good. Getting exciting. Arnold desperately needs to continue having success with his break. The last 2 racks have been good. So let's see if he can get a 3rd consecutive good break. Oh,
he almost scratched.
He almost scratched, but look, amazing break in the end, you know, after just nearly scratching in the center pocket. He's got 3 balls. Everything's open. The only thing is he's had to take ball in hand because he didn't want to take the really difficult shot that he'd left from the opening, which is a wise thing to do. He's in the lead. he just needs to maintain the pressure and keep finishing these racks. So all of you guys out there, if you're interested, obviously One Pool, One Sports TV and One Pool will be putting on more Euro 2 qualifiers in the future, I'm sure. It's really easy to go into it, just conditions. If you can't be in the top 100 in the European rankings. If you're a man, if you're in the women's, you have to be out of the top 50. And basically, the table is you've got some table requirements, pocket sizes, and things that you can find out from One Pool. There's always their info when they do their social media, and they've paid just 30 euros. Okay, you pay just 30 euros to get the opportunity to compete with guys from all over the world that are trying to qualify, and it's a great experience. So I think all good amateur players out there should give it a try.
One of the things that I love about One Pool, Steve, is that we've been able to discover a lot of talent all around the world since last year, because we've seen players that we would normally not see in the regular format.
That's right.
From home. So
that's right.
We're making the sport bigger, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was, I got a couple of phone calls from One Pool. I got a good relationship with David, and he said, hey, you could do some commentary for us and give it a try. I've never done that. Yeah, but you do really well. Let's give it a try. So I took him up on it, and obviously, you know the rest. The rest is here we are. But thanks to being here and watching this and really getting involved, there's been lots of matches that I thought, wow, there's lots of guys out there, lots of players that we wouldn't see, in a matchroom event, on TV, that we've got to know here, and you see the quality of their games, and you think, wow, there's so many more players out there than what you think, and they're so good. And as you say, it's just good for the sport. And the pandemic situation with COVID has obviously been difficult, horrible, and dramatic for the most of us. But there have been a few things that have been positive. And, in our world, this is one of the positive things that we can take out of the pandemic situation. For example, when I was confined at home without being able to work, my business was closed, things like that, everything was down. You're looking wherever you look, you're thinking, this is not good. And then I'm thinking to myself, yeah, and all this time with my kids at home, I would have never done this, because life doesn't stop, and we're always busy, and we're always doing things, and we're, and in the end, you think back and you think, yeah, last year I spent more time with my kids than I'm going to spend in the next 3 years, probably. So there is always a positive side to everything. It doesn't matter how bad things are. Okay, so,
Well, I think it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah, it's a dry break. That's a dry break, which is really putting this set towards Arnel's way, because we are getting down to, the last part of this second set, going for the 7th innings. And Arnel has now got a 12-point lead. It's still only, one dry break. But as you can see there on the scoreboard, obviously it doesn't help Harry's score because he's had the same dry breaks as Arnold, but he got 2 innings with only 4 points, which has obviously hurt him quite a lot there.
Well, to give you an update, guys, Slovakia is beating Austria 6-1, and it's a race to 7.
It looks like there's no turning back for Austria in this match.
I mean, Slovakia is playing perfect. Perfect. When I say perfect, it's probably one mistake in the whole match so far.
And of course, they're playing winner's break.
Yes, winner's break.
So if they get on a run, you could get matches when 2 guys don't get out of their chairs. Another big break. We've suddenly got a lot of light on this table.
Yes.
Are you having the same difficulty in seeing it?
I'm having the same, and it wasn't like that before.
No.
But I'm not able to see the color of the balls. I know that Andres and our technical team can make magic for you guys to see it on Facebook much better, but I'm not able to see a lot right now.
Hey, that's a lot better. Thank you.
As I said, we have the best technical team. They can make magic even for us. So yes, now I can see there's the 3, the 4, the 6, the 7, the 8, and the 10. De nada. When I have a technical difficulty, I always imagine that it's me because I'm the guy that always probably I don't see the colors that great or whatever, but it was great that it wasn't only me, Steve. That you
that's right. Yeah, you felt better when I said it first. I said, oh my God, I can't see anything here.
It's usually me, like, Steve, Alberto, can you see the 4? Of course. I mean, I can see it 4K HD, and I'm okay. For you guys.
Yeah. No, thanks to our great technical team, we're back on track here. We can see Arnold has made a great break.
Beautiful shot. And
he's got quite a straight through run out here for a guy of his quality, as you guys have been seeing. These guys are top. And yeah, this is going to give him a good advantage going into what we're going to be Harry's 7th inning. And he's only just come low enough on that 7, but that's okay. He'll probably pop this into the left-hand side of that center pocket and get up there easy for that black. Perfect angle to come down for the 10. And the guy that looks like he just went in for a coffee is running out another rack.
Amazing. I mean, he will be the perfect example of me getting a pool room. Like, of course, let me take your money, and he will take my dignity. Like, yes, I know how to play a little bit pool. Yes, you can play, and he will take all my savings. He made a ball. he made a
He
lot
made
of balls.
three. He made 3 balls off of that. That was an excellent break. Look at that. Is that the dream position
Yeah,
for
perfect.
running racks?
Yeah, it's perfect because almost everything is a stop shot. Almost.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly what you want. Never happens to me.
Never happens to me either. Never. That never happens to me. And when it happens, then happens another thing. So,
Yeah, when it happens, you mess up somehow.
yeah,
And you think,
somehow.
why did I do that? Yeah, yeah.
Every time that I'm commentating, I say, "Whoa, this happened! It's so cool!" And then I say to myself, "It never happens to me." And I don't know if you noticed, but Harry doesn't quite have the Filipino style of play. He has a little bit like a European style. He makes a little bit of the pause in his stroke. So it's something different.
He has the swing at the beginning. His first 2 strokes are pretty Philippine, but then the last stroke is more like a European one. So he's sort of combined the best of both worlds, and it's very effective, and he's doing really well with it. Excellent. Very fast, very fluent. With a break like that, even I could have finished that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's keeping the pressure on, waiting for a possible mistake from Arnel, who hasn't made any mistakes yet, only 2 dry breaks, but no mistakes. Oh my God, he's got the 2. If he hadn't got that 2, it'd been another dry break.
I don't know if the 6 goes on the side.
The 6, I would say, is just past the black ball, but I couldn't be sure. And I think I'm in the same seat as you, so yeah, it's difficult to see. So guys, remember, we're going to finalize this match. This will be the first winner. Okay, so because there were 22 players that took part in this Euro Tour qualifier, they were divided into 2 grids, so that we actually played 2 finals, two individual finals. And this is the first of our finals today. The lineup is ready for 6 o'clock. So in an hour's time, you've got the second final going to start between Maluto and Medinilla. And they will be playing for the second and last spot for that Austrian Euro Tour coming up on the 17th of June. So they win the spot for the Euro Tour plus $150 for expenditures to help them on their way. And all of this has been played using the One Pool app, which is excellent for playing players from anywhere in the world, from your club or your home, if you're lucky enough to have a table at home.
Wow. So the 6 didn't go.
It didn't go. He's taken that really well. He's opened them up so he can now finish. So yeah, guys, take a minute, download the app. Have a look on your phone. It's really easy to use. Helps you to be able to play one pool. Does all the mathematics for you. You've got the buttons for dry breaks, for scratches, everything. Everything you can think of, it's all there done for you. As we've just lost the table color again, so it's difficult to... There we go. We're back again. That's great. Thank you.
It's perfect. He's on the good side of the 5 to get to the 6. The thing is, when he makes, depending on the angle on the 6, how would you get to the 7? Would
yeah,
you try to get straight on the 6? Would you?
If you go really straight on the 6 and you go past the black up towards that pocket in at the end of the long rail, that's a risky type of shot to play. But it is or yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's tried to... Wow, that's a great positional shot. That is exactly where he wanted it. That's down to the millimeter. All he has to do now is push it through.
I have an update, guys. Slovakia takes Austria out the World Cup of Pool. They beat them 7-1. Austria is out.
Wow. There you go. Surprises on the pool table. 9-ball pool. Top quality players from around the world. Anyone can win. You never know. Did you see I didn't think he could go past that black like he did off of the 6. I thought the 6 was much closer to the black, so there was no angle to do what he did, but he did. So it was a lot easier than what I thought. Yeah, simple.
Perfect.
Okay, so 8th innings for Mr. Vergara. Let's see if he can keep the pressure on. He needs a ball off of this break, because otherwise this set is going to be in... Wow. As I say that, he gets 3 balls off of there. So 4 balls, sorry. 4 balls and a shot on the 1 with the rest, because he can't reach that one shot.
If he makes 15, he will still be down, but he will put the pressure on Arnel's.
That's right. Oh, he's hit the 2. He's in the way, but I'm sure he hit that 2. But he's come lucky because he's hit it and he's still on it. So he can just probably hold for this 3, maybe in the center pocket. I don't know how he's going to play this. He's probably got a bit more angle than what I think on this 2 ball because he's so close to it. He could maybe draw this across, even take the 3 into the center pocket that's next to the 2 ball. God knows. I can't see the angle perfectly here, but it's not easy. Yeah, that's. I thought he was going to try and draw it for this to take it in the center pocket, but he's going to end up taking it down the bottom. But that's okay. He's good. He's now again just got stop shots here. Okay, he looks a bit straight on this, so he's going to just draw it straight back for 10 in this right-hand bottom corner, like so. Yeah, and he's got a very valuable 15 points here if this 10 goes in to keep the pressure on. So, 2 more innings each. Two more innings each. Very, very tight finish to this second set. All these guys want is to pot a ball off the break. That is their biggest worry. That's all they want. Pot a ball off the break. That's what he's saying to himself.
Yes.
Just keep the balls going in the center pocket. Oh, and they both missed the center pocket. And the curse of the commentator.
Whoa.
And I feel bad. You know, that is the only thing that he didn't want. See, guys, when we say about this format, the break is, you know, the most important thing in pool. But on this format, it's like another level of importance.
Yes. It's do or die.
Yeah, that's right. It's do or die. It is.
Break.
So this, to take it all to the last innings and make it completely level. Oh my God. It's another dry break. Can you believe it?
Whoa.
So we're in the same situation, but just one innings left. Seven points to difference.
Double the pressure.
Double the pressure, that's right. I think as we saw Arnel celebrating there as he's watching the screen, I imagine he's got the screen up where he's watching, because he's been looking at a screen up there for the whole match. So I imagine he's watching Harry's table. And it's a bit behind on time to what we're looking at here. So he's setting up his balls. He's seen that Harry's got a dry break and he's thinking, right, thank God for that. Come on, I need to pot a ball off this. I need to pot a ball off this break. Here I go. He does look, I mean, we haven't got a really clear picture, but when he puts his face down towards that cue ball when he's going to break, he just reminds me slightly of Efren Reyes.
Yes, it looks like from this angle.
From this angle, that's right, yeah. When he's looking down.
Oh, dry break, dry break.
I don't believe it. Is the 2 going in? It's not.
No, dry break.
Unbelievable.
So Harry needs 8 points to win the second point of the match, right? Okay.
Yep. He needs to get a ball or 2 or 3 off the break and
ball in hand and finish it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he'd have to leave himself a really, really easy 1 ball to not take ball in hand off of after this break. He's got the ball off the break. He hasn't got a shot on the 1, so he's going to take ball in hand anyway. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 2. He needs 4 balls, guys. So he needs the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4, which is next to the 1. If I can't see the colors perfectly, but I think the 4 is the one that's next to the 1 now. So they're all in the top half of that table. He'd do this in practice 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000. But obviously the pressure is on, guys. So no, he needs the 8 ball. Yeah, have I done my maths wrong, Luis?
No, he needs the 8. He needs to get 8 to win and 7 to tie the match.
Yeah, okay, so he needs down to the 8 ball. Okay. Ya te digo.
So yes, guys, once we finish this match, we're gonna have a very short and fast interview because we have the next match coming up and we want you to be able to go to the bathroom, order a pizza.
Yeah, I need to have my nocilla sandwich for my merienda and everything.
I eat all the time, so I need to eat anything at any time. So it will be great for me too, guys. So we're gonna make it fast, and probably you wanna catch up on Copa Espana, World Cup of Pool, go to the bathroom, order a pizza, and then we come to the second Euro Tour qualifier.
So you're like Jose Alberto. He's either eating.
No, he's the champion. No, I'm the second in the world. I'm a sub-champion. He's the champion. I mean, Alberto is either taking a nap, eating, or playing pool.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you a quick update while he's potting these last 2 balls. Jonas Soto's 4-4 in the semi-final, and Jose Alberto Delgado is 3-4 down against Iker.
Alberto is losing how much?
3-4 down.
Okay. Is race to 7 or 9, Steve?
The race to 8.
Okay.
As we see there, Harry takes the second set and obviously the match. Place for the Euro Tour. Well played, Harry. Didn't look like he was going to take that set until all the way to the end. And as you can see the delay here, because Arnold is still waiting to see him finish.
Ah? Harap ka pa, harap ka. Harap ka.
Okay, guys, well played, both of you. Arnold, that second set nearly looked like it was going to be yours, but it is. Harry, well played. You played cool, calm, and collected all the way through. Congratulations, and thank you for playing. Thank you for being with us. See you next time, okay?
Okay.
Nice game,
Charot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi, thank you.
Congratulations, Harry. Congratulations. Okay, Luis, see you in a few minutes for the next final.
Okay. See you later, guys.
Okay.
See you. Thank you.
Ano kalaban sa iba?
Bye-bye.
Hindi, maglalaban pa sila.